Morning, everyone. Well, I'm off to Weaver Leather on this glorious day. It's about, I don't know, 16 degrees outside, but the sun's shining. Oh, this is rough. This is rough. This is rough. The sun is shining. Looks like it's going to be a glorious day. Not supposed to get much warmer, probably in the 20s today. So winter is here. The ground's frozen, and if it stays like this, I'll be able to get some wood out of the woods. But we'll see. I do have to get this order done before I can go play with the wood. So that's what I'm gonna go do. Go to Weaver, pick up my materials for my next order, and then tomorrow I can get a full start on it. So Sylvia, if you're watching, I'm on my way. Alright, so I just got back from Weaver Leather, and I've gotten my material ready to go here. So what I do is I go to Weaver, I pick out the leather I want, and then I hand them my clicker dies, and I have them punch out the sheaths I want, because they can do it so much faster than I can. It costs a little bit of money, but the service is well worth it. So basically what this is a cookie cutter. It's a sharp blade. Weaver Leather makes these. And they take it, they have a much bigger version of this, but I have a small one here. They take it over to their clicker press, and I need to get this mounted. Bear with me. Basically, you put your leather down, and then you put your die in there, and then you just pull this handle down. And one pull of the handle, on a normal clicker press, this one's a little too small, but on a normal clicker press, or they probably have an industrial one, which is air powered, but same thing. That presses down and cuts out your shape. One swipe. Now on this smaller one, I have to go in at an angle, and it takes like 2 to 3 presses to get this big of a die cut out. So I don't use it often for these bigger pieces. I have smaller things that I punch out, but I can, if I need to make a couple, I can just punch them out with that, and I'm good to go. So that's that. Now I'll start in and get all the belt loops set, and then we'll start gluing. So we're well on our way to getting this next order done. There's 120 sheaths here total, 40 of each. So it's a pretty good size order. That's one of the bigger ones that I've done. So be interesting to see how long it actually takes me. I never really keep track of the time. I just work, just get it done. So I'm excited. So stay tuned. We'll see where we get. All right, so I'm attaching the belt loops for these knife sheaths, and I figured I'd share with you my process for this. So I use these 11 millimeter double cap rivets. Okay, so you have two pieces. You have a cap and a stem, and both sides have a button. These are not the strongest, excuse me, the strongest type of rivets to use, but they are pretty good. I've had, out of over 1,000 sheaths, I've had one of these fail. So that, if that tells you anything, they're pretty good. What happens is when you put this cap together, you smash it with this tool, and the inside of that stem mushrooms out and captures itself inside the cap. So they work great. So I fold over my belt loop. I find a center spot at the tip, and this is all kind of by eye. Give it a good whack with a nice punch. Take my rivet, stick it in through the inside, fold down my belt loop, and then stick on the cap. And the cap kind of has like a little, kind of clicks into place, so hold it in. I give it 2 good whacks with this special tool. This tool is, oh, that's not gonna, this tool is domed, and it fits the rivet perfectly. So the end product is a nice domed rivet and flat on the inside, so whenever your knife is in the sheath, it doesn't rub on that rivet. And then once you fold it over and glue it, you've got a nice sheath with a nice belt loop. So I'm about done here. Got about, well, maybe 8 more to go out of 120. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll get these finished up here, and then I'll head into work. If this was custom work, I would use a traditional copper rivet and burr that you peen over on the burr, and those don't ever come loose. They're permanent. You'll probably destroy your piece before you get that rivet off. Like I said, I haven't had any issues using these at all. I don't use them on, I use them, they have their application, right? This is a production sheath. High quality, doesn't have to have, you know, the same stuff that a custom sheath might have. Gets the job done, it looks good, and the customer's happy because it's a affordable option for their knife, you know. So win for everyone. So I'll get these all finished up. Back at it. All right, well, I'd say that is a successful start. I've only been out here for, well, I don't know, no more than 2 hours for sure, and I've got all the belt loops attached. So now we can move on to the next step, and that's, I got to put my stamp on them all, and then we'll start gluing. And like I've said before and shown before, glue up takes the longest. All right, so I'm going to wrap this video up for today and skedaddle on out of here and get my butt to work. Overall, productive day. I'm pretty happy. See what tomorrow brings. We'll start in on glue up. So, I appreciate all the comments, everybody reaching out. I've had some questions about some of the equipment I use in the shop, and some of the more expensive stuff, like the clicker dies, clicker presses, sewing machines, 2x72, stuff like that. So I just, I don't want people to get hung up because I get the questions, what did this cost? What did that cost? And then you could see in their response, they're discouraged. And I want to make it clear that I did all of everything you guys see me do without all of this equipment way before I bought it. I bought the equipment because of the success with the leather work, not the other way around. I didn't buy the equipment and then become successful with leather. So don't get hung up. Don't get discouraged. Don't not do this because you don't have an expensive sewing machine or an expensive 2x72. Find a way to get it done. Hand sewing is very enjoyable. It's very easy. And you can sew a lot of leather for what one of those sewing machine costs. Trust me, you can do it for a long time. I'm kind of different because I do a lot of production work, a lot of wholesale work. I sell large quantities at a time. And there's other people that do way more than I do. I mean, there's manufacturing companies everywhere, so I'm just a little guy. But that's just the niche that I got into, and it's the direction I went. If I was just doing custom work, that I probably wouldn't own the sewing machine, to be honest with you. It's a lot of money, and I don't really need it to do custom work. I'd rather hand sew anyway. Clicker dies and clicker presses, if you're making the same thing hundreds of times, by all means, spend the money, get that clicker die made, and buy the small clicker press if you can get away with it, and that'll do you good for a long time. But if you're going to make different stuff for every customer, it just doesn't make sense. If you're only going to make 5 of the same thing a year or even a month, I mean, there's plenty of items I make I don't have dies for. I just keep cutting them out by hand. You get kind of good at cutting it out by hand. So I guess long-winded way of saying, don't let this stuff stand in your way. Get out there and get something going. Make something. Get your feet wet. Learn this trade by doing it. You watch plenty of videos, watch plenty of tutorials, and read books and forums, and just do that. But get out there and experience it. Mess up some leather. Break some needles. Destroy some snaps and rivets. That'll teach you. That'll teach you what you need to know and how to do certain things and design some things, and don't copy people's work. That's so, it's terrible. It just shows that you don't have any creativity when you copy someone else's work. Now, there's plenty of things out there that can only be done so many ways, but put your style into it, figure out your style. And the only way you're going to figure that out is just to do a bunch of something and, pick a niche and focus on that. If you want to make belts, focus on making belts, make 100 belts until you're sick of making belts, and then look back and see what you've learned. And I guarantee you're going to learn a lot. So, all right, that's it. I'm wrapping it up. Next couple days are going to probably be glue up. So we'll figure out a way to make that interesting. I don't know how that's going to work, but I appreciate all the views, all the support. If you're not subscribed, please click that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and share this with your friends. All of that helps. I really, really enjoy all the feedback I've been getting lately. It's amazing. So you people are amazing. All right, guys, we'll see you.